Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, welcome to the channel for the very first time. If you're brand new here, thank you so much for joining me today for our pick a card reading on the topic of what obstacle is finally clearing for you, with the secondary question of how. So pretty straightforward, pretty short and sweet. Today we are picking with the Three of Wands from 3 different tarot decks today, as the Three of Wands represents going forward based on plans that we've made, kind of like, you know, our topic today about what obstacle is clearing, so I thought it was pretty fitting. Now, for pile 1 over here on the left, your Three of Wands is from the Tarot for the Great Outdoors. For pile 2, your Three of Wands is from the Oriens Animal Pocket Tarot. And for our wonderful pile number 3, your Three of Wands is from the Tarot Landscapes deck. So just a refresher, pile 1, Tarot for the Great Outdoors. Pile 2, Oriens Animal Tarot. And pile 3, Tarot Landscapes. But of course, as I always say, you're welcome to pause right now if you need more time to decide. If you are new to pick a card readings, I have what I like to call our little meditative moment, just to kind of help guide you through one method to choose. So close your eyes and take in a deep cleansing breath. Imagine drawing in light to your lungs as you do so. Hold it. And then when you breathe back out and open your eyes again, where are they drawn first? What does your gaze settle on? What feels right in your gut? That is what we call your intuition, and that is what I recommend you go with. But whatever your method, and as I always say, you can even just pick by what looks the coolest to you. That works too. You can drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Find the timestamp there for your tarot deck /pile, and I'll see you in our chat about what obstacle is finally clearing for you and how. Toodaloo. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what obstacle is finally clearing for you, as well as how. And of course, as you can recall, the tarot deck you were drawn to today was the Three of Wands from the Tarot for the Great Outdoors. Very lovely scene. She's picking her apples and looking over the orchards and the flowers that she has grown. Very gorgeous scenery. So, as we always do when we pick with tarot cards, I like to put them right back into the deck, so that it's available for the message if need be. And let's begin today with drawing your tarot cards in general. So calling on spirit guides, ancestors, other beings of higher intent with the best intentions for pile 1 in mind collectively. Can you tell us more about what obstacle is going on in their life that is clearing and how? Thank you. All right, that looks like the first one to me. And one more for us, pile 1. There's number 5. Okay, let's unveil your cards together. Thank you for your patience as I drew those. So first card today is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. You know, what that represents, pile 1, is there's some sort of area in your life where you've been lacking opportunity, especially in the area of finance or career. Okay, because the stones, or pentacles as it's known in most decks, represents earthly things. So money, finances, sometimes I interpret it as like health or home. So there's some opportunity you've been lacking, hence the ace being reversed. It's like you've been looking for some sort of opportunity, or an opportunity was kind of taken away from you, and that seems to be kind of the obstacle, at least part of the inciting incident of it, like what started this problem in your life that is clearing soon. So, excuse me. Also, I apologize in advance once again if my voice is just a tad scratchy today. I do have allergies. It's that time of season, so if I clear my voice a bit, I apologize in advance. And then we've got the Tower. Okay, yeah, so not only pile 1 was it an opportunity either taken away from you or just like you couldn't find an opportunity, it's led to some sort of disaster. Like, and this is past tense, so don't freak out if you're like, oh no, there's something bad going to happen, because this is more like, I call this spread like the inciting incident, and then this is kind of like the recent past. So something really pivotal has happened recently, I can tell, because of the Tower. The Tower is events in our lives that are moments of pivotal change. Okay, sometimes they're really chaotic, sometimes they're even kind of destructive. So, my condolences, pile one, if something really bad has happened recently. Like, one example might be a loss of a job, or you were going for a promotion and it was denied to you, or maybe you lost your home. It's something along those lines, especially with the context of the Ace of Pentacles reversed being right behind it. It's almost like you were trying to save something, or you were trying to achieve something, but it's just like that opportunity was out of your grasp. And that's what caused the disaster. It doesn't really feel like it was in your control much, pile one. It's like you tried your absolute best. And it's like now you're still having to pick up the pieces from this tower moment that occurred. But this is what Spirit is saying, is like how that applies to you in your life, or how that resonates in your life. That's exactly where this obstacle is going to clear soon. So the good news is even though seems like maybe some bad stuff kind of happened, pile one, there's good change along the way. Okay, so let's look at the heart of the matter here is the third card. We have the Four of Pentacles. Beautiful. That means, pile one, reserving our resources. It means, especially in terms of like very tangible things, being able to save up money is just one example. Okay, so especially I think a lot of you, this is probably money or job related of what happened or home, like I said, because of all the pentacles so far. And two, it's like maybe part of the issue is that you were trying to save up for something and just, once again, the opportunity fled out of your hands. Maybe some unexpected bill came up and you're like, oh crap, I gotta pay either this bill or this bill. And then boom, the tower fell because it was like a choice between a rock and a hard place. Excuse the pun with literally there's being, a rock in the Ace of Pentacles reverse that you got. But the good news is that this is part of what's changing, Spirit is saying. That obstacle is going to clear. Let's look at the next one. We've got the Emperor with, looks like, Yosemite National Park. The Emperor is all about authority over what is our own, power, control, things like that. Also masculine energy in the positive. That tends to represent itself in, like, ambition, taking action, things like that. Very interesting. Let's see the context of the fifth card before I complete that. And then we've got the Six of Swords, which means moving on or moving forward. Literally, like, this person is packing up after their trip. It almost looks like they went, is that snowboarding? I think it looks like snowboarding. It's icy outside. It's snowy outside. I should know. I live in a very snowy area myself, part of the year at least. And so by it being, a card of movement, it's like you're finally moving past. And I also am really noticing, pile one, literally look at the light shining through this window. And I hope it shows up on camera, but it's like a light breaking through the clouds. Like, things have been not so great. And it's like now you're finally packing up and moving on. Okay, so that's also a really good sign if you, say, did lose a home and you're looking for a new home. She's literally packing, like she's moving places. Okay, so that might be part of the how this obstacle clears for you, if that's how it applies to you in terms of like a living situation. Let me look really closely at the list she's got down here. I want to say, see if it says anything. I'm sorry if I'm pulling it off camera, but it just kind of looks like scribbles. But it is a pack list, it says down here. I don't know if you can see that on camera, pile one. Yeah, moving on. And two, the Emperor being part of it's like the near future card here, is part of the how this is going to come to fruition in fixing it. The Emperor can represent either like a fatherly figure, if it's a person coming to help. So maybe there's a fatherly figure that comes along and helps you move beyond this financial or like home kind of disastrous situation. Or it could also be the energy of the Emperor within yourself. There's something that's coming up in that case of an allowance of you to express your ability in that area of power and authority and control and protectiveness. Okay. I'm trying to tap into my intuition here to see if there's anything like clearly coming out outside of just the tarot cards and what they depict. One second. It's very interesting. I'm being shown a pair of scissors, pile one. It's almost like there's something that you're going to be able to cut out of your life, like literally cutting something. That's part of the authority of the Emperor. So either, I don't know, maybe there's a fatherly figure that's been part of the financial issues and it's like cutting them out of your life, or it's like you're cutting out something out of your life that's going to, using that authority that's going to help you leave behind a dead weight that'll help you with the Six of Swords to like move forward to better pastures. Okay, so just to summarize everything so far, of course, we're also going to pull some oracle cards to get more context and advice in general and just more of the how, right? But to summarize everything so far, pile one, there's a financial opportunity that you were lacking, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place potentially. A disaster happened, hence the Tower. But now you're moving into the energy of being able to reserve your resources, to have more control over everything and being able to move on and move forward away. Like the sunbeam kind of breaking through the clouds and the Six of Swords. Like, finally the sun is shining. That's what's going to clear for you soon. Okay, let's grab your oracle cards. I'm going to grab, let's do the Dream Ritual Oracle first. All right, Spirit, anything else you want to tell us? Thank you. For pile one. You know what? I just realized this too, pile one. I'm sorry. Let me draw your card here as I talk. I noticed in the Tower, even though this is technically a card of pivotal change, there's really like sun breaking out behind the storm as well, just like the sunbeam here. So it's really a lot of energy of like storms clearing, whatever's been kind of stormy in your life recently. Chaotic, that's another way to interpret, you know, the symbolism of storms. It's like a rainbow finally coming after the rain, as I always say. Then we've got relax, literally. Okay, I was just saying, like, I feel like, a rainbow after the rain. Whatever you've been really tense about, pile one, with this situation, especially too, like, maybe some of you have been having some, like, anxiety over this, especially, which is completely understandable, given it was a Tower moment in your life, right? Not fun to deal with. And then too, maybe some of you have been having trouble sleeping. This is a card that's a sign that you're going to be able to relax. It's almost like your spirit guide saying, take a deep breath, relax. It's going to be fixed. It's going to be fine. All right. It also can be an indication that part of the how of this obstacle clearing is something's going to give. I mean, the imagery I'm being drawn to is almost like a rope giving more slack. Like it was kind of tense before, like the rope was being pulled really thin, and then boom, there's slack. And it's like, okay, well, now we can relax. It's not as tight. So maybe like a tight budget is kind of what's coming through, and then it's like the budget becomes less tight. Or it could also be, too, like even your nerves. Like we talk about, oh, my nerves are afraid, because it's almost like a rope being pulled and then the strands kind of pulling apart and breaking. It's like finally that anxiety is going to relax and it's not going to be so frayed. Okay, we'll put that one over here. Let's grab some other context with your other oracle cards, of course. Let's see, what do we want to do next? Let's try the Ask Your Guides oracle. Anything else, Spirit, you want to say about this situation for them? Thank you. Especially Spirit Guides, because this is a Spirit Guides deck, technically. Okay, this one for sure says, pick me. Life Force 41, which is interesting. I think my last reading, I got this card in one of the piles. So if you got that pile in the last video, maybe a bit of a synchronicity that you're getting this card again. And I always interpret this card, pile one, to mean something that's like keeping our fire alive. What makes us happy to get out of bed in the morning? What keeps us going even when the going gets tough, right? And especially if we've been through a Tower moment before, like I've seen here, it's difficult. It's difficult to keep the flame alive. We think everything is completely destroyed, or we've lost something very pivotal to us, or we lost out on something that we thought was just very important to us, right? And it's hard to keep the flame alive in that situation, because you think, okay, what's the point? I feel like I've lost everything. I feel like everything is over, but your spirit guides are saying, please, 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 keep that life force going. Keep your hopes alive. Keep that flame alive, because it's not over yet, as we've seen with these tarot cards. Okay, so maybe a little bit repetitive, but that is what I'm seeing with that particular card. And then let's, of course, grab the Sacred Destiny. It'd be funny if you get the security card. Okay, there's actually two that just went flying. Whoosh. Very chaotic. Or maybe that's three. Oh, boy, you got four of them. All right, I'm going to shuffle between these four, because normally I would take them, but I don't have that much room on the table. I'm going to shuffle between these four and see which two come out for you, pile one. Okay, Spirit, can you give me just two out of these, please? Thank you. We'll see if you get the security one, because that one also has kind of like a flame imagery. All right. I want to take this one. We got Delight, beautiful. And then we've got, let's see, we feel this one. Okay, definitely on the right. And Voyage, which is interesting, pile one, because we talked about the Six of Swords before, meaning, oh, you're moving on. But sometimes it can literally mean like a physical move, as I was saying, like the woman is packing here, like she's packing her things to make a move. I mean, a Delight is just, it's kind of self-explanatory. So I apologize. That's also kind of repetitive, pile one. But it just means that there's good times coming. It's, I don't know exactly what bird this is, but it kind of looks like a sparrow to me. And of course, I always personally associate sparrows with spring. Very fitting for the time of year that this video is uploaded, even though I know my videos are timeless. You can view them year-round. But if you're watching this at the time of uploading it, it's almost like the season is reflecting the tides of change for you. Like the Delight card says, it's like things are going to warm back up again. Things are going to grow again and be fertile again, just like they are in the spring, okay? Also, it could be a bit of a synchronicity to, it sounds odd, but listen to the songs of sparrows or songbirds in your yard or wherever you're living currently, or also just like bird imagery too in general as signposts of synchronicity going forward on the path ahead, especially as you're navigating out of the situation towards more stability. And then same thing too, Voyage. It's like you're moving somewhere. So I almost wonder if, it's like a housing situation for a lot of you, because you have Six of Swords and the Voyage card. But even if it isn't pile one, well, if it is, that means this is really good tidings for the move. I think you're going to move somewhere that you really enjoy. There's also a lot of water imagery in all of these. I mean, you have water in the Relax, like the boat with the moon over the water. And then you have the Yosemite card. The Emperor has a lot of water. And then two with Voyage, water. Water everywhere. And so it's like, I almost wonder if you're moving towards water. Maybe a city that has more water or is by a lake or river, or like it's a property that's like right on a body of water. That's kind of an indication as to where you're going to get a little bit of a break and like your next move, if moving physically your house, living situation is your situation. But otherwise, pile one, if it's not your housing situation, Voyage just means you're moving somewhere better, especially with the context of the Six of Swords, okay? Taking a journey. It's going to be a little bit scary sometimes. I mean, making a big move in life, especially after we've had a sort of tower moment, we call it in the tarot community, is scary. Just like going on a voyage on the ocean is scary. But you never know what lands of opportunity wait beyond the shore, beyond the horizon of the water that you're currently traversing. Okay, so I know it might seem scary, but things are going to get better. You're going to get to that other shore. Okay? And two, even with the imagery of the whale almost like carrying the baby here, like parent whale and then the baby whale, it almost kind of feels like part of this is, I mean, in all things in life, in my personal opinion, divinely guided by your spirit guides. I think a lot of them are kind of trying to, I always call it like they're working in the background of the machinations of the universe. It's like cogwork, moving in the background that you just don't notice. It's like they're trying to carry you somewhere too, like almost you're the baby whale and they're like the parent whale. But you don't see it because you just see the water beneath you and you're like, okay, I got to deal with this down here and everything that's going on. But really, there is an anchor you have to them, and you can always rely on them, and they're helping you right now in this time, okay? And then I also have one last deck, the Botanical Inspirations. I wanted a lot of nature cards today, so I thought for spring, let's use my flower deck. Okay, anything else you want to say, spirit guides, spirit for pile 1, ancestors 2, anyone that wants to weigh in with good intentions? We have the Forget-Me-Not, Eternal Memories, and I'll say the quote, "The best things in life are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you've made along the way," by Unknown. Just a random quote. Yes, so Forget-Me-Nots are pretty straightforward. They mean what they mean, right? Literally, Forget-Me-Not. It makes me wonder, for those of you that are making a physical move, if part of the move of where you're going is something that reminds you of something else. Like, it's almost nostalgic, the place that you're going. I don't know if maybe you lived there at a different time and you really liked it and you always wanted to go back. Or it's, like, associated with your childhood, because we do have a little bit of the imagery of, like, the child with the whale in the Voyage card. It's almost like there's something very nostalgic about it. I'm surprised you didn't get the Six of Cups in your tarot spread, but I'm going to draw just one more tarot card on that one, pile 1, okay? Spirit, can you just one more? What do you mean about the eternal memories or like the nostalgia, the forget-me-not? The Ten of Wands reversed, which means releasing a burden. But physically too, and this is one of the weird cards in this deck, and I always say this when it pops out. So the Ten of Wands typically means burdens, although, you know, I like to interpret also the imagery deck by deck, and this particular Ten of Wands is people actually just having kind of a good time. You know, they're around a campfire, they are camping, and it looks like a yurt in the background, someone's got a guitar, someone's telling stories, someone's roasting marshmallows. So, I mean, once again, it just makes me think of nostalgia in a way, because, you know, it's like a happy summer memory of like sitting around a bonfire, and especially reversed pile 1, like I said, that represents releasing a burden of some sort. So it's like a time in your life that you're returning to in some way where burdens were less, which once again makes me think of childhood. Like there's something about nostalgia with where you're going that's better after this bad thing happened, okay? So that's a bit of a hint too as the how, or like what's the context of like where you're going with this once the obstacle is cleared, okay? Interesting. Let me look too, because we did talk about the obstacle itself and then the how. So, I mean, in terms of the how, you know, I won't repeat everything, pile 1, but, you know, it's just keeping your hope alive, like the Life Force card says. It's stepping in your power and your authority to make movement, with the Emperor next to the context of the Six of Swords. Okay, a little bit of help from your spirit guides, obviously, with Voyage. Or maybe even, you know, once again, pile 1, the Emperor means father, or fatherhood, and the Voyage is like a parent whale with a baby whale. I almost wonder if something, you know, for those of you that this applies to, like a parent is helping as well. Or it's like, with the nostalgia, it's like a place that one of your parents lived at one point. There's something along those lines to look out for. All right. But, you know, just in general, short and sweet, pile 1. What's clearing in your life is an obstacle regarding a financial opportunity that turned into, you know, it was a lack of it, or you couldn't reach it, or it was denied you, and then there was a disaster of some sort, something bad happened, and then now you're moving into a time of being able to reserve your resources more, having more power and authority and control over the direction you're taking, and being able to move on to greener pastures, like the Six of Swords says, to a place of delight, a place of greater relaxation, okay? There's going to be a little bit of a trip on the way there with the Voyage card, and a little bit of effort on your end from just keeping your hope alive in the meantime, even as things have been tough. But it's a place of nostalgia. It's a place of relieved burdens, or a time of that reminds you of when you had less burdens, okay? So, very, very beautiful reading today, and I was very glad to be able to give this news to you, pile 1, because obviously a tower moment, never fun. No wonder why you clicked on the reading. You're probably like, oh my god, what's going on? Spirit guides, help me out. Okay. So, yeah, I'm glad to have been able to deliver that news to you. So look out for those things, and just know this obstacle will be clearing soon. So if you liked the reading and if it resonated, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to Lone Pine Tarot if you have not done so yet. As I always say, that just helps me out a little bit, just a click, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about the obstacle finally clearing for you, as well as how. And of course, as you can recall, the tarot deck you were drawn to was the very, very cute Three of Wands with, it looks like either a squirrel or a chipmunk. I want to say squirrel. The Animal Oriens Pocket Tarot. So of course, as we always do when we choose with tarot decks, I'm going to put your card right back into said deck. And let's begin shuffling to get more insight on what the obstacle is and how it's going to clear. So, spirit guides, spirits, ancestors of pile 2 today collectively, please, with highest best intentions for pile 2, what's the obstacle clearing? How? Thank you. And then we need 2 more, so let's grab this one, and I'm feeling that one right there. Thank you for your patience as I shuffled. Let's unveil the tarot cards to begin the reading. So first up we have the Seven of Swords reversed. And that, my friends, represents revealing a deception of some kind, or the unveiling of something tricky that's been going on. Little trickstery. You know, sometimes the Seven of Swords can represent maybe like especially reversed, it means like a lie being revealed, or the truth coming out, or maybe someone was trying to get away with something and you caught them, or you're like trying to catch them. And if that's the case, however that applies to you, resonates to you, pile 2, that's the obstacle clearing, is the truth coming out. All right, so that's the first card. That's the inciting incident. Second of all, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, that can represent a lack of teamwork. So it's possible that this, a little bit of context, is related to like a group project that you've been working on. I don't know if you're in college, sometimes that's a group project thing, or maybe you are working on like a multi-person group project at work, and maybe someone's been slacking, or someone's been trying to get away with something, or it could be something even outside of the realm of education or career. Okay, in general though, it's like a deception revealed regarding a group of people that have been working together on something, or in this case with the Three of Pentacles reversed, have not been working very well together. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Tower. Interesting. Pile 1 had a Tower today too. But there's a difference in the context, because they got it in the second position, you got it in the third, which I call the heart of the matter in my personal spread I like to use. And what that means, pile 2, is while towers represent things falling down, they represent pivotal moments of change, okay? And especially with the context of everything that's been going on so far, what I'm really hearing is, I think it's like you have been trying to reveal a deception of some sort. You have been trying to get this group thing going like better, or like people working along better together, or something along those lines. Of course, always apply that as how it works with your situation. Either way though, everything that's been going on in terms of trickery or deception, or in terms of people not working well together, that is what's falling down. And the Tower moment tends to represent things kind of like not necessarily outside of our control, but being like a major arcana card. I tend to see it almost as like an act of fate, rather than, something that's brought about necessarily. Like, I mean, it can be that, like, you're the venue through which it manifests, pile 2. Like, say, you find some evidence for something that you're trying to prove. Okay? Yes, but sometimes the universe works in the background with its machinations, I like to call, to have things line up and happen in a way where you would have found that evidence. Just, doesn't necessarily mean that exactly applies to your situation, but yeah, it's like, an act of God, an act of fate, if you want to call it, act of the universe. The Tower's coming down. All right, quite dramatic. And then we've got the Ten of Cups, beautiful little fennec foxes, that represents happily ever after and emotional satisfaction. Great to get after a Tower moment. And then last but not least, we've got the Page of Swords reversed. Okay, now that's very interesting in terms of the context of everything going on, pile 2, because what that means to me as a tarot reader is, the Page of Swords reversed as an outcome tells me there's almost like more work to do after this. There's more to kind of fix or unveil or try to get working again, or people working together better, and then, so they're kind of giving, yes, this is going to clear, but there's a little bit of a caveat here. A little bit of an asterisk in saying, but there's more to explore. But wait, there's more, right? Not that we always want to hear that, but I'm sure you're at least probably relieved, taking it how it resonates to your situation, that at least the really bad stuff is going to fall down, but it's like there's going to be more coming out later. There's emotional satisfaction. You have the Ten of Cups. That's fantastic. That means, 10 representing finality in tarot, at least the way I read the tarot deck, especially with cups, means, emotions of the heart. People getting along too, because look at that, it's like a fennec fox family, or a couple with a baby, something like that. So it's like that resolves. There's emotional satisfaction, but then the Page of Swords reversed means there's more that needs to be explored in terms of like logic or truth. As swords in tarot represent air, which represents those things: logic, truth, communication, things like that. I almost wonder if like there's a project you're going to be put on to try to unveil more deception, or like figuring things out Or it's like there's even more under here than you expect. It's almost like the imagery I'm hearing is as if peeling back like a piece of bark on a log, and there's a lot more roaches under there than you expected, or bugs. And you're like, oh, I was just chasing after this one bug, trying to unveil this one cockroach, and then all of a sudden, boom, you peel it up, everything's skittering everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, this is a whole can of worms I did not expect. So it's almost kind of like clearing an obstacle that way as well. It's just there's more obstacles, I think, than you're expecting. So just be aware of that, pile 2. It's the obstacles clearing, like I said, but with a caveat. Now, I'm really interested, though, in the rest of the context. So let's grab some oracle cards. I'm going to grab your Dream Ritual Oracle first, this deck. So spirit guides, ancestors, spirit of pile 2. We need more tea. What's going on? I'm very curious, and I'm sure pile 2 is also curious. How is this coming about? What's going on? Okay. We've got Reconnect. What an interesting card to get. You know, Reconnect makes me think it's like putting pieces together, almost like a puzzle piece. Or pieces in a puzzle, I should say. It makes me think, too, like maybe part of the unveiling of what's going on is like reconnecting to a source of information that you didn't think to look before, or it's like they come back and they're like, oh, but wait a minute, you know, you asked me that question before, but I remembered something else. So it's like a reconnection of some sort, like someone coming back to you and telling you something, or, two, I mean, with the Three of Pentacles reversed having been one of the energies that's been causing stress, you know, people not working well together, a lack of teamwork, that's usually what Three of Pentacles reversed means. It can mean that, you know, it's movement towards a group that does connect well, or it's getting the group back on track after this other stuff has been kind of fixed and solved, okay? It's like connecting pieces, connecting what you see on the surface to the roots of the truth beneath, like I was saying with the metaphor of the log and the bugs underneath. Very interesting, pile 2. Okay, let's grab, I want to do Ask Your Guides next, this deck. Spirit guides, what's going on? What else do you want to say for pile 2? Thank you. Excuse me. I also apologize if I clear my throat a lot. I've been having to do that a lot lately, pile 2, because it's allergy season, so just want to say in advance if you hear that, that's why. Invention. Number 17, invention. You know what they say about invention? Necessity is the mother, okay? So, pile 2, I don't know if it's like you're trying to like create something together, like invent something together, or it's like part of the deception revealed is like someone invented something that was just a lie. And like that's what you're kind of trying to figure out. And two, like with the imagery of like the finger pointing at the light, it's almost as if you're the one that points towards the truth, points toward the light of, oh, this is what's been going on. Invention. I want to grab just one more tarot card on that for a little bit more context. Spirit guides, maybe one tarot card on invention. What do you mean about that? Okay. I know that chunk of cards fell down, but I'm going to just take one because I asked for one. The Four of Pentacles reversed. Oh. Giving away resources, giving away finances. I don't know if someone's been, like, giving away money under the table. Excuse me while I adjust in my chair if you hear any squeaky noises. Yeah, like, someone's been giving money away under the table, or has been too loose or uncareful with money or finances. Or it's like part of the obstacle clearing is that before the finances were reserved or not given to where they were supposed to be doled out, and then it's released, because that's another interpretation of the Four of Pentacles reversed. Because, you know, it almost, I think that's an armadillo technically. Yeah, looks like it. With its hard shell protecting its own with resources, but at the same time, with reversed, it's like, oh, finally letting go of that. Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling, pile too, that with the context of invention, it's almost like somebody was invented a reason for why they needed to keep money or pay money, but it was just a lie because it was an invention. Like they invented it. Or part of what you're working on is like an invention that's supposed to help make more money. Of some sort. Very interesting. I'm very curious, pile 2. Feel free to comment down below. I mean, I always encourage all of my piles to tell me more, but I'm really, really curious because this is kind of I mean, there's a lot of truth unveiling type stuff here, you know? Especially with the tower being part of the context. Like, whoa, like something really big is coming down. Or going down, I should say. Let's grab your sacred destiny. Openness. Look at that. Another card of truth. There's so many truth cards, too. Openness. Like the clouds are clearing and out comes the light. And now you finally see the pattern, like the constellations in the sky. I don't know if you can catch that on camera, but in the background here, there's like very faintly gold outlined constellations. Like, well, I think that one's part of Pisces because it looks like the two fish. And then there's Gemini, which, of course, well, I'm biased. I recognize Gemini because I'm a Gemini, right? And then, yeah, Leo. That almost looks like Sagittarius up there. Aries maybe is one of them. Yeah, pile 2. Things are going to open and clear up. And it's like you are the sun that shines down and breaks the fog away. Like that's part of your role in this. So actually, some of the how pile 2 is you. Really, I'm saying this is you. You're the one that's doing this. So kudos to you, pile 2. Not easy to unveil deception, especially if there's like stakes involved. Say like, I don't know if it's happening at like, say, your job. You know, maybe you're afraid of repercussions, but at the same time, I get the sense that you are, you know, based on this spread, you're someone who's very truth-oriented, very justice-oriented. So it's almost like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you're a Libra, if you got a lot of Libra placements or what, but yeah, especially with that air of the Page of Swords here. Air signs. Okay, let's grab your Botanical Inspirations card, your flower. I don't know if it's something to do with like accounting too, because of all the money. I don't know. And then you've got the Primrose. Youthful love. An interesting context here. It says, if I had a single flower for every time I think of you, I could walk forever in my garden. And that was by Claudia Adrian Grandi. Youthful love, primrose. And there's a moth on it too. Almost like how moths are nocturnal, like the moon imagery here in the openness card. Primrose. Youthful love. You know, it almost makes me think, like part of the deception was that everybody wanted to believe in the truth of the person who was the deceiver, because it was like everyone was kind of starry-eyed, but then it's like the reality started coming out and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Because youthful love is kind of a strange card to get with this reading, because we're talking about, you know, revealing deceptions with money and things like that, and, you know, all of it coming down. Although it could mean for some of you, and this might sound really odd, pile too, that for some of you, oh, this is going to sound so weird. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate, but maybe some of you, especially with Reconnect, are like, there's a relationship out of this too. I know that sounds very odd, but I almost wonder if like you're supposed to meet someone this way who is, like, if you're not already currently like in a partnership or in a romantic relationship, like that could also be part of this because of youthful love plus Reconnect. Interesting. Also, the Ten of Cups can represent a relationship as well. Like I said, it's almost like a family of fennec foxes. Weird. Okay, but cool. Weird, but cool. Let me grab actually a tarot card for that one too, because I'm curious. Spirit guides, you're confusing me. What's going on with youthful love here? What do you mean? What the heck? Lovingly, what the heck? Let's grab this one. We've got the Knight of Pentacles with the honeybee, or bumblebee, I should say. Slow and steady wins the race, taking action in terms of finances. I'm actually going to draw just one more card because I want more context. Context is key. And the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay. You know what that literally also means, pile two? Revealing or overcoming a betrayal. I almost wonder if for those of you who are currently single, okay, if you're not single, toss this out the window. Although it could also mean a close relationship that is platonic. So even if you're not single, you know, but especially if you are, for some reason, part of this situation is you meeting somebody that possibly could be a romantic partner, and they because of the Court card, it's almost like they are a Knight of Pentacles, which can mean an earth sign. It can also mean someone that is very like steady and reliable and practical, okay? And it's part of the recovery of this betrayal, of the deception going on, okay? Because of the Ten of Swords reversed. Ten of Swords reversed can also represent what we thought was the end of something, but it's not. Like, we were finally overcoming what we thought was, okay, this is, like, oh, this is the end, you know, like, this chapter is closed. And then with Ten of Swords reversed, though, it's like, okay, but wait a minute, there's more. Yeah, but wait, there's more. Like we said before with the Page of Swords reversed, when I said, you know, I think there's even more bugs to uncover underneath the bark. So, yeah. It can also mean for those of you where it's like you're trying to inspire more financial responsibility with this, especially if the deceiver in the situation has been someone who's been financially irresponsible, that this is leading to greater financial stability, because that's another representation of the Knight of Pentacles. Knights take action, and the Pentacles is earth, which means finances, career, home, health, things like that. So it represents someone who is very practical. It could also mean like maybe the person who is causing the problems is removed, and that is who comes in. Maybe if it's like, say, at a job, someone gets fired because they've been naughty, right? And then whoever gets hired, like especially for those of you who are single, maybe it's someone who's actually like a potential romantic partner for you, or either that or like a good platonic relationship, like a friend. Yeah, so that young, youthful love kind of threw a curveball, but I think, oddly enough, some of you, this might lead to something like that. Okay. Interesting reading. Very cool. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Pretty straightforward. So just to summarize, pile 2, the obstacle clearing is the obstacle of lies, the obstacle of a deception of some sort. You're a big part of the truth being revealed. You're going to reveal the deception, I feel like, or at least you bring forth a really pivotal piece of evidence that does. Okay? Boom, the tower falls. Everything that has been wrong comes crashing down, almost as if by an act of fate. Remember I mentioned that before? Excuse me. Then there's emotional happiness. There's emotional stability. Happily ever after, like the Ten of Cups. And there might even be more for you to explore or to unveil later, with that Page of Swords reversed as the final outcome card. Okay. And it's something to do with, like, finances being either held back or, like, spent in the wrong way. There's another card, too, about, like, reconnecting with someone, maybe even, like, a potential romantic relationship out of this, or close platonic relationship out of this for you. And just truth in general, like the openness card. The clouds unveil, and the truth comes out. People are honest. Things are open. Very beautiful. So, that is your reading for today, my wonderful pile number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked it and if it resonated, please like the video itself. Please comment down below, especially you, pile 2. I'm really curious about what this is. I want to know if you can reveal things right. And then, where was I going with this? Yes. Yeah, comment down below and then subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. As I always say, it's just a click that helps me out, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what obstacle is finally clearing for you, as well as the how of how it'll come about. And of course, as you can recall, the tarot deck you were drawn to is the very beautiful tarot landscapes. Looks like some animal figures forming out of the smoke. I see a bird, a hare, and it looks like maybe a boar of some sort. But as we always do when we pick with tarot decks, we're going to put your card right back into said deck and shuffle, and we'll begin the reading with the tarot spreads. So, connecting to spirit guides, connecting to spirit ancestors, other beings with the highest, best intentions in mind for pile number 3 collectively today. Please guide us to the right cards that explain what obstacles clearing in their life and how. Thank you. Okay, there's 2 already. That was quite fast. Yep. 1, 2. is number 5. Thank you for your patience while I drew the cards. Pile 3. Let's unveil your tarot spread. So, to begin today, you have the 4 of Swords reversed, okay? Something coming about that moves from a period of either inactivity or a lack of movement towards activity, like something waking up. A really good term to use with the 4 of Swords reversed is like an activation or a wake-up card. So I don't know if maybe something's been kind of slow in your life recently, or you've been kind of waking. I guess that fits too. Waiting, that's what I meant to say. Waiting for something to wake up, something to become active. And if so, this means that that is what part of your life this reading is talking about. But of course, let's get more context. We've got the Knight of Wands. Okay, Knight of Wands is someone who takes action with fire. And in tarot, that represents ambition, passion, confidence, and charisma. Now, that can also mean, well, sometimes that means that you literally a person in your life, as it is a court card. Sometimes it represents the energy within yourself. So not only is the obstacle clearing something about, like, waking up, it's activating. It's also something that is you taking action or moving forward in terms of your ambitions, okay? The things you're really passionate about. It's not quite necessarily about career, like, say, if it would have been like a Knight of Pentacles, because that tends to represent finances and career, that suit. But whatever you're ambitious about, whatever you're dreaming about, that's part of what's clearing, okay? We also have the Hermit. Interesting card. The Hermit is all about going within, being introspective. It's also a card of finding the light within instead of without, in terms of metaphorically meaning truth. Things like that. So it's also something that you've been doing that's kind of solitary. Something about bringing a truth out into the world. I almost wonder if it's like you have been kind of just waiting for the right moment or like the right medium in which to bring this to fruition, to bring it to the attention of others. It could also mean that part of the obstacle clearing is a time or a period of time in your life that will allow you more introspection and downtime to kind of reflect, that will help spur this forward like a push on a cart. Okay? Let's keep going and get more context. The Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so something about needing to explore financial opportunities more or career more. And that is the near future card. Let's grab the outcome before I say anything too much on that. And then we've got the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay, beautiful as an outcome. And that tends to represent feeling like something has come to the end, but it's not the final chapter of a situation yet. Or sometimes the Ten of Swords can mean like reversed overcoming a betrayal, but I see this more as like, you know, closing of a chapter type of interpretation for this particular reading. So just to summarize everything, pile 3, the obstacle clearing in your life is something that you've been waiting to activate, something that you've been waiting to kind of bring either to light or to bring forward. Maybe you've kind of lacked some confidence before, that it's like the universe comes, or like your spirit guides inspire you, whatever mechanism through which it works, it comes about through you gaining that confidence, through taking that action like the Knight of Wands would towards their ambitions, okay? And also, a Knight of Wands is someone who is confident, okay? So you get that confidence, you propel forward, okay? But there's even more insight to be gained here with the Hermit, going within, finding that truth. Not quite at the moment of bringing it out, because that would be a Hermit reversed, okay? But, you know, it almost feels like a spiritual journey, too, on top of, like, a tangible one. It's one of those situations in life where it's like you clearing out this obstacle of bringing forth your passion to the world is also, like, a soul lesson for you. I don't know if you've tended to kind of struggle with confidence in the past, or, you know, putting stock in your own ideas and bringing them forward, believing in them. But if so, pile 3, part of the obstacle that's clearing is you overall, on a soul level, gaining more confidence about putting yourself and your work out there, okay, and cherishing the truth in it, cherishing the unique contributions you have as the unique soul you are on this earth, okay, because nobody, I guarantee you, nobody exactly thinks or has the same ideas that you do, and that is the inherent value in us all, because we're all so different, okay? Completely different inside. you have something to bring to the table. And it's like part of this obstacle being removed is you realizing that, oh, this thing does have merit. This thing that is my soul truth. This ambition of mine. Okay. Now there is a little bit of a caveat. We do have the Page of Pentacles reversed, which means needing to kind of explore more options regarding career or finances. I almost wonder too if part of the challenge coming forward with this obstacle being cleared is it's almost like you will be nudged towards trying to make, I don't know, possibly a career out of this, or like, you know, maybe part of it is like affecting your career, or it's like a part of your career that you're really passionate about but haven't been able to quite explore that exact pathway before. And you might struggle with that a little bit. That being reversed, okay? But once you overcome that, it's like this new invigoration in your ideas and your confidence in yourself and taking action with what you're passionate about. Because the Ten of Swords reversed, as I said, as an outcome is like this chapter is not closed. You thought it was the end. You thought you had to close the book on this idea. You don't. You can keep going. So another way this might manifest, pile 3, just throwing some examples out there. This might not resonate with every single one of you, or maybe not every single example might resonate, of course. But like say like you have your own business, just as an example. And you really, really liked this one idea, and you're like, man, I don't know if customers will like that idea. I don't know if this will resonate with people. But you give it a chance. It brings something, you know, almost in a way, it sounds corny or weird, but it's like, it almost like brings a spiritual truth out. No matter how mundane it might, the thing that you might be selling or like doing in a business might be. And then it like connects with people. And with the Ten of Swords reversed, it's like, it's not the end of what, like you thought you had to shelf it, but you don't. You don't have to shelf that idea because it has merit and it has value. Or another example I might throw out there is, let me think actually. I'm going to take a drink while I'm thinking here. Pile 3. I apologize. My voice is quite scratchy. Very allergy-ridden season this time of year, so for where I live. So another example, let's see. Let me think. Oh, another one that's coming to mind is like, say you, especially in the creative arts, that's where a lot of spiritual truths come out, right? Pile 3. Say there is a painting that you've made that you really, or even a series of paintings that it speaks deeply to your soul, and you've wanted to get it out there, but you thought it wouldn't resonate. Or say it's like a book that you've been writing. It's like something possibly that you have imbued with a piece of your soul, as we all do when we create art, right? Because that's what makes art, is the soul that we put into it, the feeling, okay? The capturing of who we are as a spirit in that moment in time. Putting it out there. That's what makes it beautiful. And that's the piece of it that resonates with other people. Okay? You thought you had to shelf it, but you don't. It's almost like an opportunity either to, you know, maybe a publisher picks up that book, or maybe a gallery picks up that series of paintings. However that applies to you, that's kind of the mechanism by which I'm seeing this coming to fruition. Now, let's, of course, grab some more context. I want to grab your oracle cards. I've always started with the Dream Ritual Oracle today, so let's pick that deck. Spirit guides, other higher beings with best interests in mind for pile 3 today. Any other context you want to tell us about this? Because I'm really, really curious. I just want to know, like, what's being activated here that they're going to feel confident in. Or how. We haven't even really, I mean, we kind of talked about the how a little bit. A lot of it is through your own power, right? Pile 3, but we've got gratitude. Interesting. We've got different houses on the branches of the tree on clouds. It's also a new moon, which means opportunities, new beginnings, right? Gratitude. I almost wonder if part of it is like your reluctance to put this out there, pile 3, was you didn't think, I'm kind of repeating because I was like, well, I don't think, you thought people wouldn't appreciate it, but part of the obstacle clearing is you realizing when you do put it out there, how much gratitude you'll get back from other people. It's like something you put out there. It's almost like the imagery I'm seeing is like a radio broadcast, and it just resonates with people really well. It just hits the right frequency, and it hits like the right tune for certain people, and it works. it goes really well. To the point where, yeah, like they're grateful for you. They have gratitude. They're like, oh, thank God you put this out there. I thought I was the only one. Or, oh, hey, that really helped me through my journey. Things like that. So, I mean, if you, pile 3, I mean, if there's anything, excuse me, you take away from this reading, please do not hold back your ideas. Please put them out there. They have value. They have merit, I promise. And this reading is reiterating that, but... So it's almost like the obstacle has been yourself, pile 3. It's like an obstacle clearing out of yourself, of believing in your ideas. Then we have decisions. Number 11, higher self. Oh, I almost wonder if... I'm going to grab one tarot card to explain that more, but I almost wonder if you're going to be like kind of spoiled for choice. It's like you're spoiled for choice after this, and that's part of how it clears. Let's grab a tarot card to get sure, though. Spirit guides, can you give me one card of clarification on the decisions? What do you mean by that? Thank you. Oh boy, well that was the whole deck I just dropped. I can't read the entire deck. Let's try that again. Oops. Maybe that means a lot of choices. No, I would hope it's not that many choices. It would get confusing for you. I would be confused if I had more than, three choices to do. Okay, let's do that again. Spirit, I'm sorry. One card, please. I'll try not to drop the deck again. There we go. So that's the problem with having little tiny baby hands with really big decks. Not the best mix. We have the 9 of Wands, which tends to represent determination. Decisions and determination, holding out to the very end. I almost wonder, pile 3. Part of the obstacle clearing is a choice that you make, a decision that you make, and it's a decision that you make towards keeping your resolve and keeping going with something, because the Knight of Wands represents determination. I almost wonder, it almost looks like a desert with storm. Like finally after the dry season, the storm and the rain comes for this desert. And it's like you basking in the rain after a time of drought. But it requires to manifest through the way that you keep going. Okay? Keep embodying that Knight of Wands energy of taking action with your passions, okay? Believing in them. Also exploring financial opportunities around that. There's a piece of advice we had with the Page of Pentacles earlier, but what an interesting card. And it's required you to be quite tough, pile 3. I am seeing that as well. 2, I almost wonder if part of what you're trying to put out there is a story or something that represents a piece of your soul from a time where you had to be really determined when things got tough. It's like maybe that symbolically, like what you're creating or what you're trying to put out there is like trying to help inspire others to keep going when the going gets tough. Or how to make decisions. And we've got, purity with the white wolf. How beautiful. I'm also going to draw a clarifier on that. Purity. Though I will say what I'm hearing intuitively is it's almost like it resonates and people are grateful because they can sense the purity of your intentions with it. Like, I don't know if it's like an area too where there's like a lot of like frivolity or like a lot of people are kind of like plastic with what they put out there. And it's like you're someone that brings something forward so genuine that's why it resonates and why people are grateful. Like, that's what I think of when I think of purity. But let's, of course, grab a tarot card without dropping the deck this time. All right. Baby hands activate. Cross your fingers. Okay. One card, please, Spirit. Oh, good. I didn't drop it. Woo! Okay. King of Swords reversed. Interesting. Yeah, because you know what that means, pile 3? A King of Swords reversed tends to represent someone who is, like, dishonest. It represents someone who is harsh of tongue. So it's almost like a purity of intention because you are honest and genuine, like I said before, but also it's like you shine out as through the work that you put out there, whatever it is you're trying to achieve that's been kind of like still for a while and then it activates. You shine and stand out because you're someone that is not that King of Swords reversed. It's like you're not disingenuine. You're not harsh of tongue. Okay? It's like something through which you achieve through soft power or like a softer means than being harsh, but at the same time it's still honest, and it's refreshingly honest when a lot of people might not be that honest in this thing that you're trying to achieve, like in terms of like peers in this field or peers in the thing that you're trying to do. Okay, it's something along those lines. And then, yes, let's grab your botanical card. I'll grab a flower card for you today. Thought it was fitting for the spring. It's a very interesting reading, pile 3. I know I say that a lot with my readings, but I always like when readings like this come out that are more spiritual. I like the tangible ones too, don't get me wrong, but Gerbera. And you know what you got again, pile 3? You got Purity again in 2 different decks. You got Purity here with the Sacred Destiny Oracle. You got Purity with the Gerbera Daisy. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. And I will read the quote. It says, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it," from Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay. That's what shines out. And once again, it's even white. Look at that. And it's a white dress here, too, in this card. Decisions. A lot of, like, white imagery. Even snow, too, with the, it looks like a bobcat in your Knight of Wands. Okay. And white, of course, as we know, by color symbolism, represents purity, truth, light, good intentions. Okay. It almost feels like this is something you're doing that is so... I mean, it's kind of like what I said before, where it's like you're someone who stands out because you're doing something with such pure intention or genuineness that's not common in this area of things that you're trying to achieve, or like people that are kind of trying to do similar things to you. I mean, you almost seem like... Oh, this might sound corny, pile 3, but it's almost like you're a warrior fighting back shadows. It's the imagery I'm seeing. Okay, it's like you... Oh, this has to be like a soul purpose or like a life purpose of yours. It has to be. Because it feels so intrinsic and part of who you are and part of your purpose here. So actually, this is kind of a life purpose reading too, pile 3. You kind of got a 2-in-1, obstacle clearing and life purpose. And 2, like... You know, interpreting this for, like, if you're kind of unsure about which direction to take, choose the path that allows you being genuine. And that can also clear an obstacle. Choose a path that shows your purity of intention and your determination. Okay? And that will set you free. That'll break the obstacle as the part of the how. So believe in your ideas, pile 3. Believe in the piece of your soul that you've poured into whatever this is, okay? Because the light, when you put your soul or your spirit into something and you put it out there, it's never wrong to put out a piece of your spirit. Because, at least in my opinion, pile 3, a lot of our purpose here on Earth is connecting to other people, is resonating with other people, okay? You know, it's almost like, you know, recognizing the sameness in other as a purpose. And that's kind of what I feel here for you as part of what you're doing is like you achieving that, helping people recognize the sameness in other in terms of you putting this out there and people going, oh, that makes sense. I resonate with that. I'm so grateful that this person did this. Okay, so please put your idea out there. I know I said it before. Just don't doubt yourself, okay? If you take anything away from this reading, don't doubt yourself. And don't shelve the idea either. Keep going with it. Be determined, okay? And that will break the obstacle. It's going to activate soon. You know, the very first card inciting incident, you had the 4 of Swords reversed, which means something waking up. It wakes up. You take action with confidence. You bring that spiritual truth out like the hermit, you know? Things that you sought and saw in the darkness, and you bring it out to the light, okay? Maybe explore a little bit more about, like, you know, career or financial opportunities with that Page of Pentacles reversed. Maybe it's, making it your career if it's successful, or bringing a part of it into your career if that interests you. Just know that that Ten of Swords reversed at the end, like I said, as the outcome means it's not over. Don't shelve it yet. It's important to other souls that you do keep going, okay? Not just for yourself, but also for other people that resonate with it, okay? So kind of blended into almost like a spiritual life purpose reading, but that's the obstacle I'm seeing clear for you and how, okay? So if you liked the reading and if it resonated for you, pile 3, as I always say, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. I'm also just rabidly curious myself as to what this is. I want to know. This sounds really cool. So please chime in if you would like to do so down below. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. It's just a click of a button. And for me, it helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. Helps the channel and me keep trying to attain my own goals and resonating with other people. And as I always say, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 3, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Toodaloo.